ba, 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 ba. All right. Hello there, folks. Welcome. I hope you're doing well. We've got a very, very busy show this evening. We've got a lot of information to cover and a very short amount of time to do it in. And what I mean a short amount of time, I mean like we've got the same amount of time, but it always just seems so short, doesn't it? Our time together, doesn't our time together seem so short? I welcome, and I apologize for some of you that did not catch the time change. Chris Bunner just messaged her and said she didn't see the time change because the bastards are no more. I always wear the same shirt several days in a row. It's a long story. I'll tell you about it someday. I've talked about it several times, but it's part of the secret allure. I'll tell you. I record all of these things in one sitting in one at the week, and then we put them up. Hello, go ahead.
Alva just had a brilliant thing that he said. I want you to make sure you see it because I know you were cleaning your glasses down there in the duck.
Hit the like on your way in. Ooh, the lighthouse. I like that. That's where the big spotlight is, in the lighthouse. I like that, Alva.
I love it. I think that should be the studio name.
Ooh, yes. Good Lord. I like it. It's been for the longest time.
We're going to have to tweak it a bit so we don't owe anybody any royalties, but you know. I know. Maybe Alva will let us use it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I like that. I really like that. Thank you, Alva. Well, thank you. Maybe you're going to be like, no, you can't use it. I'm the boss. I own this. So, I like that. Ooh. And then Eric, holy shit. Come back on here, Kate. Then Eric just gave me the perfect name for the people that watch the show. What is a person that works in a lighthouse called?
The keeper.
A keeper. Eric said sounds like a keeper. And when he said that,
I'm trying to deal with the punniness.
I know. But listen to this. That is amazing because the people that are watching the show, you can be like the lighthouse keepers. And I love this. I think it's fantastic. See how this is like, what is it called? Kismet or whatever. It's like it just comes together. Well, good. I'm very happy. That makes me happy. So welcome all the keepers
to Lighthouse Studio.
To Lighthouse Studio. It is this is the political spotlight. Welcome. No, listen, we've got a lot are all called Brian. That's good Lord, I love it. I love it, Lenny. I like it. That makes sense. That's that just sounds like a very, very, very United Kingdom-ish thing to kind of say. They're all called Brian. I could get behind that. That makes sense. I don't know. I maybe like calling you guys all Brian better than keepers. Hello there, Brian. Good God. Okay, so I love it. All right. Well, here's the deal. We've got a lot of that's it wouldn't have fit 2 weeks ago there, Alva. We'll figure something to give you, I promise. So we've got a lot to talk about, and I want to tell people right now, if you are not here, absolutely. I could see it in my mind as soon as you said his name was Brian. They were all called Brian. I could see it in my head. I can hear them and everything. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, and if you're from the Muncie area, and you know that there are other people from the Muncie area that haven't been maybe watching for the last couple days or maybe the last couple weeks, because we've been very Henry County or Winchester oriented. Tonight is going to be a time to come back into the fold, because tonight's going to be a very Muncie night. Now, we've got very big information to talk to you tonight about on this show. I also have a programming announcement to let you guys know about for this upcoming weekend. And so I'm going to let you guys know about that. We are going to be talking, for those that might be here that say, hey, I want to know about Henry County stuff, or I want to know about Madison County, because I told you we would be doing some Madison County stuff tonight too. I've got some big Madison County news. I've got some Henry County news, but Muncie's going to start us off, and we're going to be focusing on this for quite a bit, because we are witnessing yet again another Dan-tastrophe, a Danzaster, Danocalypse. I don't know if there's anything more I can do with that. I'll be damned. A damn disaster. So we're going to be talking about the YMCA in the city of Muncie. We're going to be talking about Madison County news. We're going to be talking a little bit of Henry County news. A dandemonium. I love it. My brother lives in Madison County, though not by choice. I don't know what that could mean, but if he's able to watch, he might want to watch this. This could be an interesting news for him. The folks up in Madison County, man, they are going neck and neck with what Delaware County and the city of Muncie used to be. They're giving the city of Muncie, the old city of Muncie, the old Delaware County government, they are giving the Delaware County government a run for their money on just sheer stupidity, craziness, and chaos. I'm telling you, a danaclism. I was like, I don't even know if I can say that word. It's going to be a dandy. It's a dandy, all right. I'll tell you. Maybe I won't tell you. I'll just leave that alone. Yeah, this is going to be a big show, and I'm glad you guys are all here. Hey, do me a favor while you're here, while we're setting up, and while I'm sharing this to a couple places, if you would so kindly do all of the YouTube things. If those of you are here, if you could do the little thumb thing, hit the like button. For those of you that are watching, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscription button. For those of you that have hit the like button, you're subscribed, but maybe you haven't toggled the bell for the notifications. Do that now, because I'm telling you, here in the very near future, we're going to start dropping some static programs on you guys, and we're going to start bringing you some great material and things that you guys will not want to miss. So it's very important that you guys get in the notifications. All right, so we're just about done here. I was just sharing this to a couple other places and making sure that a few more peoples could see this with their eyeballs, because I want as many people to be able to witness this as humanly possible. Give me a second. Okay, Rebecca Crooms. Okay, I want to start off the show. Before we get into the big thick of the Muncie news, I'm going to tell you right now what the programming announcement is. So, just so everyone is aware, drum roll please, remember, we here at the new show, the Political Spotlight, we're going to be on live Sunday through Thursday, and the time doesn't switch anymore. No more time switches. Sunday through Thursday from 9 p.m. until the time that it ends. Okay, 9 p.m. Eastern. Wherever you are in the world, figure out what 9 p.m. Eastern is your time, and that's what time we'll be here live. Okay, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. 9. I don't know why I did that. 9 p.m. Eastern. Here, Indiana time is Eastern. Okay. With that being said, we have something that has cropped up today, and it's going to cause me to have to do a thank you. You'll be seeing. Oh, I don't know if you will see it. I don't know if you'll see the shirt Saturday or not. You might. Stay tuned in. You might see it Saturday too. It's 2 a.m. for Lenny. Absolutely. So I was in the need to do a special show this weekend that could not wait till Sunday. And the person I was talking with, they were like, Friday could be good. And I was like, ooh, yeah, I can't do Friday because I know that we aren't partners anymore. I know he's not part of this channel, but I'm going to show a little bit of goodwill. I did not want to go live on Friday because I know that my old fiance, Joshua Kimbrell, he is going live sometime tomorrow, 8 p.m., I believe. And he could be done by 9 p.m. He could not be done by 9 p.m. And there's nothing that stops me from going live. There's nothing that stops him from going live when I do, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. And so I said, no, we will sit Friday out, and that'll be that. So for those of you that are here now, Josh will be live tomorrow on his channel, Civic Duty, doing whatever it is that he's going to be doing on lives now. So check that out if you're so inclined. We will be live on Saturday. Saturday, I would generally be off with this new switch. However, there is a very, very important reason that we have to go live on Saturday. Catherine Callahan is the former chief deputy coroner. The ones that see dead people. I see dead people. The former chief deputy coroner of Madison County, Catherine Callahan, is going to be joining us on our little podcast that's going to be here. We he's going to be here, and she's going to be here, excuse me, and we're going to be talking about what's going on over in Madison County. Now, that does not pertain really specifically anything to the Steve Sumner situation that I was talking about last night. What's going on with the Steve Sumner situation is another situation altogether. Catherine does have information on that information, and she does have information on Steve and whatnot. But these are two separate situations. Catherine will be coming on, and she will be talking about the political infighting in Madison County, which is really absolutely killing politics and good government in Madison County. The citizens of Madison County are getting all the shit into the deal here. And so Catherine's going to be on. We're going to be talking with her. She is currently in the process to be caucused in as the newly elected-ish appointed Madison County clerk, or Madison County coroner. They're going to hold a caucus at 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday, and she is part of that caucus. There are several other people that are also part of the caucus, and she is the odd woman out. She is someone that is a true freedom fighter. She is a true citizen who wants what's best for her fellow citizens. While she was the chief deputy coroner in Madison County, she would many times go head to head with the elected commissioners and the elected council in the county, in Madison County, and they would gavel her down very much like people like myself. They would gavel her down and tell her that she needed to quit talking. They would tell her that she was going to be removed from the building. They would talk very short with her. They wouldn't answer questions. And keep in mind that this woman is the chief deputy coroner of the county, and they're treating her like this. She is aware of a lot of the dirty tricks, the infighting, and just for her to get her piece of paper in, just for her to get her piece of paper into the party chairman's hand, Russ Willis, who, let me tell you, Russ is absolutely dirty. Russ needs to go. It's time for him to move on down out of the way. You should run it by Ted, timing issues. He might help you with that. I don't know. But it's time for Russ to go. Russ is very detrimental to the political system in Madison County. He's just like a lot of other Republican and Democrat chairs that we have seen. So we're going to have Catherine on. Set your timers, set your watches, write it on your calendar, put a post-it on the wall, do whatever you need to do. 9 p.m. Eastern, Saturday, right here, Catherine Callahan, and we're going to get into everything that she wants to talk about. If she wants to spend 30 minutes on the show, we're going to give her 30 minutes. If she wants to spend 2 hours, we're going to give her 2 hours. She has so much to talk about, and they're doing her so wrong simply because she doesn't put up with the bullshit. All right. Now we got to get to Muncie. The name of tonight's show, all right? I want to show you this, and I need your help. We're going to sing it along together, okay? We're going to see it, you're going to see it, and you're going to help me sing it, all right? It's fun to pay for the YMCA. All right, if you give me even a little bit of money, I won't do that again. It's fun to pay for the YMCA. What am I talking about? Well, these people you see here in the background, the building you're looking at in the background there is the YMCA building in the city of Muncie, and it's obscured by all of this money and by the PS, the logo here. It's also obscured by this pile of money that these YMCA officials back here are dancing and excited that they're getting, and these piles and mountains of money. And we also see Dan right here, who is just working on doing really whatever it is that he does. I'm not really sure what he does. I'll put it to you like this. I know for a fact he doesn't do economic development, okay? He just simply is not someone who does economic development. That's not something that he has the ability to handle. I'm going to pull up here. Now, today was Thursday, as many of you know. As we started the show, some people said that they came in a little early because they thought that we would do an 8 o'clock show. My apologies. But so there is today's Thursday, which means there was a Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting that occurred today. And I want to walk through that meeting with you a little bit, because some things happened in this meeting that I am a little concerned about, and that we as the citizens of Muncie are concerned about, because, well, this is not what was originally planned, and this is not what's going on. And so my question is, what in the hell is going on with Dan Ridenour and economic development in Muncie? Eric, we are working on that. And what we've got to do in order to be able to get the members up is we need to hit a certain number of subscribers. I'm not going to say how many subscribers we need to hit, because I just want to hit that number, but you guys can help with that. I want to be very clear. Memberships are cool. Memberships work, and I can't wait for people to start buying memberships, paying memberships, if that's what they so choose to do. But right now, the only thing that matters is liking the show and subscriptions. You can only subscribe once. I don't want people to go on, and I don't want like one person to get 15 email accounts and subscribe 15 times, because I don't want fake numbers. I don't want bots or nonsense. I want one person per one subscription. I want one. Okay, I get you, Joey. I should have put 2 and 2 together. I want. I don't know why I didn't catch that. Just only, we want real action here. So one person per one subscription, but we need to hit a certain subscription level. That's that. All right. We're going to be sharing this Muncie Redevelopment Commission meeting with you all. And again, this is the city of Muncie giving us apparently the best they've got. And I've really got to say, if this is the best we've got, my worry is Muncie can't afford another 8 years of Mayor Ridenour. If this is what we've got going on, we cannot afford another 8 years. Here we go. I'm going to start this meeting off, and I'll be here in and out, but I'll be able to talk to you. Here we go.
Thank you. Good morning.
I know.
I know it's on there monthly as recurring, but I just don't think it works. So Dan Ridenour, Mayor of Muncie, a couple of things I just want to touch base on. Not a lot of activity last month, a lot of changes, but everything's listed there. We've got
Another
the
4
different
years,
TIFs
yes.
that monies are
You're
required
right.
to be spent in those particular sections of town. You can see there's not a lot of changes. The parks had, the only adjustment on the parks was there was some more engineering work finished on the skate park. And the skate park is ready to go on our end, but we're waiting on the IDEM permit because it's in a flood zone being right there at Westside Park. So that has been submitted some time ago. We expect it any time. Once they give that okay, we'll put it out to bid and construction can begin on the skate park at Westside Park. But there's ongoing engineering that we continue to pay for. It was about $13,000 was the change.
How are the skaters fundraising efforts going?
They raised some, and so we expanded the park.
Okay.
So we engineered it with a base component that we had the cash to do.
This engineering on this park has been going on for so long. When we get it in, it should be able to just about launch us to the moon. I'm not 100% sure what exactly they're doing here, but good Lord, this has been the longest, most drawn out engineering of a skate park of anything ever
To complete, and then 3 add-ons. And they did raise the money with some assistance also from the Community Foundation, and we're able to raise and make one of those add-ons already. But it's totally engineered. So as funds are raised, we can add on the additional phase 2, the phase 3 and phase 4. Okay. So we're doing phase 1 and 2 in the initial that'll be done.
As they raise more money and things can be added, the engineering doesn't have to
Correct.
be done again.
Correct. It should be ready. It should be ready to go. Now, I'm not a skater, so I don't know what those, what the different parts mean, but there are several components that are for advanced, and there are some that are for beginning, and then there are some that give more of an urban feel, and then some that are more of a speed feel. So that's what some of those additions are. Now, what they did add, just so that it wasn't part of our phase 1, was a shelter with some seating, so people can go and watch under a shade shelter and watch some of the skating events. That's part of what they added, which was that phase 2. The consolidated TIF cash is listed there. That is after those bond payments that our controller Craig mentioned. And then we have these other cash accounts. That's projected revenue from the fall installment, the above the bond payments. And you can see the total figure down there at the bottom. So not a lot of activity other than you saw the claims. It was very light last month. Let's on White River Lofts. I just want to, so I'll give you phase 1 is still 100%. They had 2 people moving out. They had a waiting list, filled those up immediately. So they're still going to be completely 100% since they reached that level, and haven't had a month yet that they weren't fully rented. So we're excited about the potential for the phase 2. We're waiting for Ready. We had a meeting with the Ready group. I think multiple. There were a couple of you who were at that meeting as well.
Go figure.
The regional meeting this past week at Ball State, and we're understanding now that we should have the full rules from the state by the middle of September. Once we have those full rules, then we'll know for certain how we move forward. Our intent is, and every single county involved in the East Central Indiana region listed housing as one of their concern issues. And some of the other ones didn't have every county listing it as an issue, but housing was one. So we've kind of focused our efforts and my efforts on the housing component when we go to Ready 2.0, but we will see what the rules are, and then we'll make sure we have something that meets those rules so that we can do as much as we can for Delaware County, for Muncie, and for East Central Indiana. And so phase 2 is our intent is for that to be a part of that. City View 1 and 2, if you've driven around town at all, you've got to see foundations that are up. There are some buildings that are up, and there are roofs that are on, and there are windows that are in, and there are doors that are in place. So work is continuing. I think they have 9 under construction. They built the bases for some additional ones. So I don't know how their construction operations work, but it appears that they're building at the scale, the number of units that they can with their teams, and it's moving well. There's also a couple of the townhome designs, one on East 8th Street and 2 on Macedonia at the corner of 8th and Macedonia, which is a former parking lot. Those buildings are on their way up. The one on 8th Street is a 10-unit building, and then there's 2 on Macedonia from that old parking lot, which is an 8-unit building and a 6-unit building. So 24 of the 61 will be in that area. So we're happy for the industry neighborhood and the Thomas Park, and the Blaine Southeast neighborhoods that will have those 2 structures. But that continues to go well. We do have calls regularly, people wanting to know, how do we get in? How do we get into those? And they have put together a website, but they're nowhere near completed on the properties. And so they're not interested yet in getting applications, but they've already taken the steps to have that website available. They shared it with me. And as soon as they think those 9 are ready to go, they'll make those available to us. We'll put it out there and people can start applying and moving into those as the company then moves on to the next group of homes that it starts to build. And we're real pleased about all that, because these are all lots that the MRC used to own and maintain, and will soon become something much bigger and better for our community. Riverbend Apartments, we did some communication this week with them. I think we talked to them Tuesday, and as of Tuesday, they're now up to 75% occupied. So that is also going well. So it's been less than 2 months, and they're already at that level. They're very pleased, and so I'm happy. And then the Pizza King that went up across the street from that, from Riverbend, has also had their grand opening. They had a soft opening and recently had a ribbon cutting, and it's a great facility inside. I think it's kind of the new design they want to have. So it looks really, really good. And the food's good, as always. Yeah. The Holiday Inn, so I want to touch on a couple of the hotels. The Holiday Inn Express, they have submitted their building permit.
Did he literally just laugh like
some of those?
Butthead? Did he literally just go, and the food's always good? Like, what the hell?
Curb cuts and all of that is being approved by the city engineer. As of Tuesday, I haven't talked to him since on that particular project, but the permit had not been issued, but they expect to start construction here in August. At the latest September. That is next to the Hyundai dealership. So it's out on in that area is where that Holiday Inn Express is going to be. My understanding is the current Holiday Inn Express will be making a name change. Obviously, the hotel's still going to be there, and it is not one of our older, it's one of our newer facilities, but it will no longer be a Holiday Inn Express. The other one that passed through the zoning variance board at the end of at the end of July, this is August. Yeah, at the end of July is a Hilton brand, and that's a Hilton Home to Suites. We knew that was coming. we had already looked at. They did preliminary work with our city engineer to make sure the plans fit, but there were some minor variances on where they put some of the trees and so forth, and all that passed unanimously at the variance board. They expect to start construction in October or November on that particular facility. It'll be a 102 bed hotel. Has a lot of longer stay options, and it will be next to the Hampton, or in that area, off of Bethel. So it'll be in that area, which they've already purchased, closed, and now have their final variance. So they're in the process of getting the building permit put together. I wanted to update on Pet Supplies Plus. This is a building that the MRC did not participate in financially, neither did the city, but we did assist them quite a bit with some of the MSD, the sanitary district work, and with some of the zoning to make sure.
I'm going to pause this just for 1 second so that we can assist our viewers on demand. This is definitely something that is big important. And it's something that I honestly can't believe I didn't notice before. Back when I was on Dan Ridenour's support team, and I really cared about trying to get him elected and wanted to get him in office. I was around him and saw him all the time, and he looked healthy and looked normal. And although I've been looking at him and watching him on screen, until I put these pictures up together, I did not know that over the last 4 years, Dan Ridenour has morphed from Dan Ridenour, who I knew, to my grandmother, Claudette King, who is not the grandmother I talk about. It's not the grandmother that's watching. Dan Ridenour actually morphed into my grandmother, Claudette King. Love my grandmother to death. Unfortunately, she passed in 2016. Dan looks much like she does today in her current condition. If my mom was watching, I'm sure I would be like, "Hey, Mom, doesn't this look like Grandma?" And Mom would be like, "Yeah, it does. It looks just like her." Here's for everyone's. Please understand, you might need to turn away. But this is the picture of Dan Ridenour in roughly about 2019. And the side-by-side with what he looks like today. Oh, God. Oh, no, sorry. Jeez. Whew, man, that's a little scary there. So, boy, I'm telling you, they say that politics is bad. But it is bad. Okay, on with the show.
Sure that it all complied. So we spent time, but we didn't put any money into it. But the reason I bring it up to you, it's a $1 million plus facility. It'll be another retail outlet. They are building their own building as opposed to leasing. And
no, I'm not going to play the entire meeting. I'm trying to get in here. He's going through the claims real quick, and then going through his thing. I'm just trying to hear. Maybe you might know really what I want, because I did not watch all of this. I got the news update that let me know what I wanted to talk about. And so maybe you might have watched it. You may have watched this. Do you know when it will be that he talks about the situation with when he talks about the deal with the Y? It would generally be, and I thought that it would generally be here in this first segment, which is what I'm trying to get at. It looks like Mary said something about 13-minute mark about the Y, so I'm going to try to let it play through that.
It will generate, obviously, tax revenue. It's inside the mall TIF district, and so that will be part of the revenues that come to the MRC. So I just wanted to let you know their intended open date is in September. So they're pushing hard. The other thing I like about that particular facility is they contracted with a local builder. Rhinewood,
yeah.
and they're using local contractors for HVAC and some other things as well. So it's a franchise, so it's not a company store, and so it is owned here by an individual who bought that franchise. A couple of other things I have, and I just don't seem to have it with me. I want to, and this is not on the agenda, so if legal says I can't do this, I need your guidance on the YMCA. They have already moved, they've closed that.
All right. This is what I want everybody to pay close attention to. I want everybody to pay close attention to what he's getting ready to say here. This was not on the agenda. Of course, he didn't have this with him. You know, he makes it seem like, oh, this is just a quick fly. I just thought of this just while I was standing here talking. I want you all to listen to this. This is very important.
Rhinewood, and they're using local contractors for. I need your guidance on the YMCA. They have already moved. They've closed that facility downtown. So we need to determine, I just want your guidance. Do you want us to keep the utilities on, or do we want to winterize it now? Well, I really didn't have it on my schedule of activities that we were going to engage in until about 25, because there was a hope and we thought that maybe they would be open until the new Y opened up. Instead, the swimming portion is being done at Muncie Central now already for Y members, and the other activities have gone ahead and moved up to the Northwest Y.
Because nobody in their right mind could have seen this coming. Are we kidding ourselves? They don't like the downtown building. They're leaving the downtown building. They want out of the downtown building. Oh, no, Eric. Don't get it confused, buddy. He's not actually asking for guidance like he cares or whatever. He's trying. Remember, he's 70 some days out from an election, so he's trying to make it seem like he's doing something. This is a total cover his ass position, CYA position. And this is something that he's done that is just another economic development flop on his behalf. The attorney for the MRC is none other than the attorney for the county, not John Brook, but the young man that is the county council attorney. Delaware County, Indiana County Council attorney. It is Ben Freeman. Ben Freeman is who it is. We make a good team there, Charlize. It's Ben Freeman. Yeah, Yoko, this is a little bit of so he can say the MRC made this decision. It's a little bit of the thing where when we realize that these utilities are astronomical and we're going to start paying astronomical utilities for this building, okay, it's going to be absolutely insane. I think we'll see. Maybe it'll be nothing, but I don't know. The bottom line is I don't want to pay a penny for it. I want to talk back. So that's the thing. I am in the process of requesting the agreement because this is something that we've all talked about, and this is something that should have been handled. Yeah, it is Ben Freeman. I as soon as you said it, I started to say it, and I couldn't remember. So keep in mind, this is the mayor's. Well, before I get into all of the specifics, I want to let him talk this out, and then we'll get into the specifics. We'll get into what happened. We'll get into the agreement and all of that stuff. So let's let him continue talking here for a second while I pull some things up.
The reason so I would encourage us to get the utilities transferred over, put into our name. I haven't toured the building, but a couple of city employees, including the engineer, have toured the building. I think it will be difficult to show it well because there's no windows if we don't have lighting. And I would like the opportunity to put out some type of RFP to see what interest there might be in that building. I have had somebody already reach out. I've had others who have said they're interested. I thought if you guys want to try and move forward now rather than waiting till 25, since the building is empty, we are owners of that building, I'd be happy to do that. But I just wanted your guidance, whatever discussions or questions you may have on that.
They haven't signed it over yet, right? Have they signed it over yet?
We already own the building. It was a purchase, and then there was
With
a
a lease
license
back.
and lease back.
Lease
agreement
back.
Right,
for,
but-
I think it was for $1.
$1.
But
So
it had a
we
term
own the
on.
building.
But it had a term on it, right? The lease had a term on it. That it was a triple net lease for the term of that lease. So they
Yes.
kind of control the property, right, under the terms of the lease.
I have to go back and look at the lease. My recollection is that there was a term.
Up to.
It was a maximum term in which they were allowed to stay, but I do believe they were allowed to exit early.
Okay.
I'll have to go back and confirm. I wasn't prepared
Well,
to answer that
I wouldn't
question,
have to. I would have to as well. Yeah, because I think I would.
It was.
Unless it,
right.
yeah, unless it terminates automatically, they would still control the building, and under that lease, they would have the obligations of those things. But I think personally, I'd like to be in a position to market it sooner rather than later.
That's
And I don't know if we had I don't know that I can recall what was in the lease about, what their obligations would be before exiting the lease. Did they empty the pool or any of that stuff?
Yeah,
Is that-
right,
is that
Lenny.
part of the winter
So
season?
nobody owns a
Yeah, the pool is
The
flashlight?
pool is empty. Okay.
yeah, and they've moved out.
I
And
think.
they notified us that they were
Yeah.
moving out.
Yeah, and they've given us a date.
They give us a
for it's in a couple weeks that
Right.
they're gone from there already.
Right.
Right.
But
I know, yeah.
they would be
Yeah.
completely done. But I think utility wise, what the mayor said about that thing is there's no windows, so
Right.
you wouldn't be able to walk through it. I think we're also talking trouble without keeping the heat on, even if it's at minimal. I mean, I think that's a big building to allow it to get humid,
Yeah,
and
right,
I just
Charlie.
think I think to take care of it, we need to keep the.
No, let me tell you why this is not an agenda item. Let me tell you why this isn't an agenda item, because if you put this on the agenda item, then it's a big thing. It's a big deal. It's a thing. It's a big whoops. The mayor effed up again. Whoops. Look what stupid crap the mayor's got us involved with this time. How many of these 500,000, 600,000, $1 million projects has the mayor attempted to get us into this? To get us into? How many of these things has he attempted to get us into? And they have all either fell through, they've been disasters. It's all like, listen, I get it. I get it. It's a political time. And nobody likes the mudslinging, and I mudsling worse than anyone else. I get it. I understand. I get that I'm not going to just let up and let nonsense occur. I get that They think that he's a kind of a, oh, bless his heart kind of individual and stuff. None of that crap matters anything to me. I don't care that Lindsay Coreybory Fink thinks that he reminds her of her papaw, he's just been the bestest boss in the world to Shireen Wegley because he employs like the entire family and the city of Muncie is how they make their ends meet. I don't care about that crap. What I care about is what he's doing versus what he said he would do versus what our expectations of a mayor is and what's happening elsewhere in the city. How's he controlling the police for controlling crime and police brutality or police corruption? What's going on there? How's he controlling the fire department? Is corruption going on there? Listen to what's happening. The police aren't beating anybody anymore. That's good. But the police aren't really police anymore. I don't know what they're doing. All right. The fire department's cheating and all this nonsense is going on. They're in a state of flux. Nobody knows what's going on. Lawsuits now have transferred. The bad egg has just transferred from the Muncie Police Department to the fire department. So that's a major issue. Our economic development in the city of Muncie, literally, he put in packs of dynamite and he blew up the economic development plan, the whole thing. There is no actual economic development going on in Muncie that is worth a damn or makes any sense. Yeah, a couple of restaurants come in here, a couple pop up, a couple go under. A couple pop up, a couple go under. It's the same thing that always happens. But where is the true economic development? The deals that Dan's got us into is, I'll buy that property there for way more than it is because of who owns it. I'll sell this property for way under who it is because of who's buying it. I want to buy this property that's GM that pays money into the city of Muncie right now, and we get money off of it. I want to give them an astronomical amount of money without asking anybody. I want to turn it into a solar field that without asking anybody. I want to do all of this, and the deal doesn't make sense. We don't benefit from it, but the company does, and that falls through. And then he wants to turn a cornfield and a wheat field behind a gas station into an apartment complex that, honest to God, con men were attempting to run. And it's like just plan after plan after plan after plan like this. So I apologize to the Coreybory Finks of the world and to the Shireen Wegleys of the world that just think that Dan is a sweet and wonderful middle-aged older man who's just so nice and so wonderful. Okay, I get that. But that doesn't mean anything about being a mayor. That does not speak to his job. Look at this post right here. On yesterday's Dream with Dan, somebody commented that the only thing Muncie has are movie theaters and Gibson's skating rink. What else is there? Where to start? We've got over 30 parks. Prairie Creek Reservoir, including the Free Beach and upcoming educational center. Cardinal Greenway, the longest rail-to-trail system in the state. Christie Woods, Reinhardt Orchard Greenhouse, Tui Pool and Splash Pads, youth sports programs, Gibson skating, upcoming West Side. I mean, we're talking about some things that aren't even here yet. All right, we're talking about some things that are just like, well, we got some trees over here. Look at those trees. Look what Mayor Ridenour's done. We've got trees. We've got a Tui Pool, which has been a disaster basically since Ridenour's been involved. It's shut down all the time. Now it's in connection with the Y. You got to go and you got to get a DNA sample if you want to get in. That's all a whole big cluster. The Prairie Creek, that's been a cluster for the last several months, and whatever's going on out there. All of these things that they're mentioning. Let me ask, did they mention anywhere on here Cornerstone Center for the Arts? Oh, no, they didn't mention that because that's closing its doors and it's going to pause for the semester. So I just want to say, like, these are really cool ideas to put up these nice, touchy-feely, like low-hanging fruit, low information voter type of things. where someone who doesn't follow politics, who doesn't truly follow the meetings and doesn't really know what's going on behind the scenes might jump on here and say, look at all these things that Dan Ridenour has and the city of Muncie has. Man, that Dan Ridenour, he is a good guy. I'm going to give him my vote for another 4 years. I think that would be a swell thing to do. But then those of us that are paying attention call your attention back to meetings like this, and we quickly learn that these things that they've posted are low-hanging fruit. And the stuff that's real, well, he is blowing all of that up.
Utilities going, and it would be minimal.
Oh God,
with nobody
let's do it again.
In the walk through it. I think we're also talking trouble without keeping the heat on, even if it's at minimal. I mean, I think that's a big building to allow it to get humid, and I just think to take care of it, we need to keep the utilities going, and it would be minimal.
We need to keep the utilities going, and it would be minimal. It would be like minimal.
With nobody in the building.
How minimal was it at the old jail, Christopher?
Yeah, it was really minimal at the old jail. It was like very costly. It was, and keep in mind, the old jail was, in my opinion, quite a bit smaller than what the Y is. Yeah, it's minimal because it's not coming out of. Yeah, how did she make humid a 5-syllable word? Dude, is she taking the audio book on tape from Kim Kardashian to your throat like class? How does this 50-ish, 60-some-year-old woman sound like Kim Kardashian? What is going on? Audie, people said, people don't talk like this. Yeah, that's right, Teresa. That is it. Isn't she so sexy? That is right. This YMCA bill is going to be astronomical. It's gonna be amazing, and that's why that she does kind of sound. I've got people tell me it's like a mix between the monster on the grumpy lady on Monsters Inc. Mixed with the Valley Girl, mixed with the Kardashian sisters, with that vocal fry where everything's a question. That thing, it's just completely insane. But by the end, seriously, the bottom line here is we're getting really lost on the fact. I cannot do Shereen Wagley. I have no use for her. We used to be friends, and I honestly, somebody that is so delusional, I can't. I don't see where we go from there. Getting back to the actual problem at hand. The mayor of Muncie just literally made a massive economic development issue. And let me see, is the Star Press talking about it? Let me go and see if the Star Press is talking about this. I'll tell you where I saw it. I saw this at Indiana Public Radio. Of course, they were at the place today. They were at they were at the Redevelopment Commission meeting, and for the life of me, I cannot recall that. I always think that the Redevelopment Commission meetings are always the fourth Thursday of the month. And I need to get it to where I can go to this, because I would have stood up. And this is the one where they try to make you say your name and all that stuff. So we would have had a big yelling match. I'm sure it would have been stupid. Maybe even it would have got me some YouTube clicks. But we let me find this here. Oh yeah, right here. Go to publisher website. What's that about? Why was it doing that? That was really weird. Go to the publisher's website. IndianaPublicRadio.org. Okay. Muncie to take over utilities earlier than planned for now empty Mulberry Street YMCA. Okay. And here's this. The YMCA of Muncie has ceased operations on Mulberry Street as it begins to build a new location next to the Muncie Central High School. The City of Muncie is now taking responsibility for the current downtown building it already owns, and as IPR Stephanie Weichman reports, the move came earlier than city leaders anticipated. Now, I want to say that the mayor of Muncie talks to the YMCA people very frequently. They are in talks all the time. If you want me to be perfectly honest with you, I do not think that this happened. I do not believe that this happened earlier than Ridenour thought. I have no way of proving this. Okay? I have no way of proving what I'm getting ready to say. However, I feel that after the last 3.5 years of studying Dan as the horrible, shitful mayor that he's become, and another 2 years when I liked him and I was supporting him, with that combined time together, I would call myself a Ridenour expert. And it has come to my belief that Ridenour always knew that this was going to happen. They always knew, because first off, why wouldn't this happen? Why wouldn't this be what happened? Why would this not be what happened, honestly? Period. Okay? This is honestly, this is classic Dan. Okay? I want to read so let me read this here. Muncie announced last September that it would buy the Mulberry Street YMCA building, and it would lease it back to the private Christian organization as it continued planning to build a new location. When Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour first announced the lease, he said the YMCA would pay $1 a year until its new facility was done, and the YMCA would continue to pay all expenses like utilities and maintenance. But on Thursday, he told the Muncie Redevelopment Commission the YMCA has moved out this month. He asked the commission if the city should keep the utilities on by putting them in the city's name. I really didn't have it on my schedule of activities that we're going to engage in until about 2025, because there was hope and we thought that maybe they would be open until the new Y opened. Ridenour has said the building's lack of windows would make it hard to show the building to prospective buyers. Now, wait a minute. So is that a quote that he gave the paper? Because in that meeting, wasn't it Shireen that said that? Wasn't Shireen the one that said that? Okay. He did say it. The mayor did say there was no windows, so we'll give him that. So there's no windows. It would make it hard to show the building to prospective buyers without working lights. And the commissioners, the Muncie Redevelopment commissioners like Jeff Howell and Shereen Wegley, worried about humid summer temperatures. We've seen too many times when buildings sit empty, they seem to age at a much more rapid rate, says Howell. Yes, replies Wegley, and I would hate to see that happen to this building. Commissioners voted to keep the building's utilities on and market the building as soon as possible, but that vote nearly failed with a 3-2 split. Whoa! The building's pool has already been drained. City leaders have said the pool and the lack of windows will hinder the building's prospective buyers, even with its location across from Cannon Commons. So it's like not a... Remember when Ridenour said back in September that this building was a wonderful building for us to buy? This would be a great building for us to buy. This makes sense for the city of Muncie to own this. Now they're saying, well, it's going to be hard to sell because of the pool and because of the no windows. Ridenour wants to
Didn't you say that when they were talking about this to start with? That they were going to have a hell of a time selling it?
Yeah, I said that.
I remember you saying that.
Most definitely. This is a stupid building. This is not an office building. This is not a house turned into a duplex, turned into a lawyer's office, turned back into a duplex. This is not a building that's going to need a little bit of work to turn into like the muffler shop or a library or a bakery. This is a YMCA with a pool and areas to run. I mean, it's a gymnasium. Meanwhile, YMCA members will use the northwest side location near Bethel Avenue, which I always called it and always said they would do that. The Muncie Central High School pool for services, which I think is weird, and that means just people are going to be going into the Muncie Central High School. That doesn't seem like it's good or makes sense. The organization has begun construction next to the high school as it continues fundraisers for the project. This isn't the first public leaseback agreement in Muncie in recent years. Ball State University purchased Northside Middle School from Muncie Community Schools for $1.27 million. The university leases it back to the district as it continues to be an active school building for $1 a year. Ball State's purchase agreement said it would pay the district $60,000 a year for each year the building is leased. What I note is missing in here, and the reason I think it's missing is because these people like Dan Ridenour. Stephanie Weichman likes Dan Ridenour. Why is the fact that the city paid $500,000 missing in this article? That is supposed to be journalists there writing that. Why is the main part of the article not in the actual article? I just got back here. I want to see some comments. Stand by. It could be a good building. It's going to take a lot of money to make usable for anything other than the Y. Turn it into a parking lot would be cheaper. Might as well make a new parking spot. It's useless. Oh, yeah, grocery stores are in Dan's plan. Absolutely. Let's look at this article here. This is back in September of last year. So long ago. Muncie buys downtown YMCA building with an eye to the future downtown development. The Muncie Redevelopment Commission has purchased the downtown YMCA building for $500,000 in advance of the construction of a new YMCA plan for Walnut Street at Columbus Avenue in front of Muncie Central High School. It is really about site control, said the MRC president Jeff Howell ahead of the vote on the sale at the commission meeting Wednesday. The sale was approved by a vote of 4-1, with Commissioner Isaac Miller voting against it. Okay. And I forget, maybe we'll learn in this article what reason that Isaac Miller voted against it. I don't really recall. Maybe he was like, I want to do it, but I just don't want to do it now. Or I forget what he said, but we'll see. Muncie Mayor Dan Ridenour said the $500,000 from the city would go towards the capital campaign to build the new YMCA home. Howell and Ridenour negotiated with the YMCA board of directors for the purchase of the building. The mayor said 2 appraisals of the downtown YMCA building at 500 South Mulberry Street were made, and their average was $578,500. The YMCA officials agreed to $500,000 offer from the city, which included a lease back to the Y for $1. The nonprofit, however, will be responsible for maintenance and expenses at the building during the arrangement. City officials wanted control over the future of the building because of its importance to the future of downtown and attractions for the district. It's right across from Cannon Commons, which is where everything in terms of entertainment starts, Ridenour says. Right now, there are no specific plans for the site after the YMCA leaves to its planned new home, Ridenour told the MRC. The sale ensures that there is a plan in place for this building once we are ready to move, while also ensuring anyone who uses these facilities can continue to do so with no interruptions to their service, said Chad Zucka, president and CEO of the YMCA of Muncie. In a press statement, our members are our top priority throughout this process, so having a partner who's willing to work with us in that way is huge. It's a win-win-win. It's interesting when these people are talking and Chad Zucka is talking to the mayor, and the mayor's talking to him, calling him Chad Zucka. And I think Chad Zucka writes back to the mayor and calls him Dan Sucka. He's like, you call me Chad Zucka, and I'm going to call you Dan Sucka because we sucked you. Yeah, go ahead.
I do have a serious question.
Mm-hmm.
So the plan was for them to buy the building, lease it back until they were ready to open their new facilities on Walnut Street, right?
Yep.
Is the new building on Walnut built?
It's not.
And open?
It's not built. Nope.
So
no, they just started building it last week.
So they are interrupting services for their members.
They are. Well, no, because there's a Y on the north side.
Yeah, but now people have to go all the way across town to that, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, they are interrupting services.
It is. Yeah, there's an interruption of services. It's going to be different. It's going to be a change. It's definitely going to be interesting. Will Acutech buy it? Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, I just wasn't quite sure about whether the new one was open. I didn't think it was.
No. Oh no, not
this
anywhere
agreement.
close.
But this agreement was supposed to go through all the way until they opened that new one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just
absolutely.
Checking. Thank you.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. And I'm going to be requesting the agreement. I might even have it. I'll look through my papers when I get off the show tonight. But if I don't have it, I will request the agreement tomorrow. This was a big issue when it happened. We talked about this back then. We talked about this in September of last year. Now, September of last year was before I came on the YouTube channel, so I would have talked about it on my Facebook channel. But we talked about this back then. Matter of fact, let me just real briefly do a quick search here and see if I can find that. While I'm doing, well, let me read this first. The sale ensures that there's a plan in place for this building. Yeah, I read that. The new facility is expected to help our economic momentum within the community, including the potential to increase neighboring property values, Zucca said. The existing downtown facility was built over 40 years ago, and the needs of the community are much different now than they were then, Zucca explained. The new facility will be easily accessible to the community and will provide more space for our growing youth programs, intergenerational gathering places, and more. Miller said the deal is a great idea for the city, but he voted against it Wednesday because there isn't a solid timeline for when the Y will move in to its new home, which is still in the planning stages. We're very well thought out there, Isaac. Hal said he didn't think the Y was ready to announce a timeline for construction of their new facility, yet Ridenour said he expects to hear something soon. Once the YMCA leaves the windowless brick structure on Mulberry, its exact future will be determined by whomever wants to occupy the site. It's a solid building, the mayor said, but he added that he doubted the pool would survive after the YMCA leaves. It's possible the building would be demolished depending on the development of the future site in the future, Ridenour said. So that's that. I just wanted to hear from the newspaper that was letting people know that, hey, this is a property that the city of Muncie did, in fact, pay $500,000 for just in September. It's not even been a full year. We've not even been one full year. And the mayor and the Y who entered into this agreement, something happened and that agreement broke. Now the city citizens, through tax dollars, and I don't want to hear it, I know it's MRC, it's edit funds, which are tax dollars, are going to be footing the bill for this. My question is, let's go back and listen to their discussion to hear if they talk about how much this is going to cost the city monthly.
I think we're also talking trouble without keeping the heat on, even if it's at minimal.
That's a good question.
I think that's a big building to allow it to get humid. And, I just think I think to take care of it, we need to keep the utilities going. And it would be minimal
answer, Jackie,
with nobody in the building.
Yeah, if you don't maintain a level of temperature in there, it's just going to deteriorate the building. And
Well, as we see all the
it can
time.
take a couple months or a couple years to sell the building. So
We've seen.
you have, like I said, you have to have the lights on to be able to see.
We've seen too many times these buildings sit empty. They seem to age at a much more rapid rate.
Yes. Yep. And I would hate to see that happen to that building.
Do you want us to take action on it right now, or do you want us to wait till next month and put it on?
Well, I believe that they have indicated they were going to shut it down utility-wise in a couple of weeks. So,
so
even if we just did a couple of weeks and then made a final decision at the next meeting, that would be fine. I just don't want, I don't want to have any challenges based upon damage to the building or anything like that.
Do we need time to make that decision? I mean, or are we all kind of in agreement?
I think I'd prefer time to review the lease, and then if the utilities are off for 2 weeks in September in Indiana, I don't think, you know about buildings better than I do.
Still humidity. The heat's going to cause humidity.
Right.
I would say to vote just, I know we got to review the lease, but I would just vote to have the utilities on and market the building as soon as possible.
There you go.
Is that the only motion proposed at this point? Is that a motion?
Sure, yeah.
Second.
They have a second on the motion. Okay. Commissioner Miller,
No.
Mr. Parbella,
Yes.
Mr. Tomlin,
No.
Commissioner Wagley.
Yes.
I vote yes.
Who made the second? I missed that.
Did I?
Shireen made the second.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Was that the most contested vote we've ever had?
Yeah.
3-2. 3-2. Okay. Well, that
That's
gives me
not funny
direction
at all.
that I'm moving forward with board's knowledge and approval. And I just felt like that was important. And I have
Everything we just watched there, folks. Everything we just watched there was a put on. It was made for a show. I'm just flat floored on that. Jackie, is there a reason you ask about showing the whole thing? Is there more? Let me ask you this. Have you watched the entire MRC? And is there a reason for us to continue going that you can think of? Is there anything else that you think that we need to watch through? Should I fast forward through it quickly? Watch more of it, or you let me know if you would what your thoughts are on that. And I'll continue to go along here just a little bit more until you give you time to respond.
I have one other that's not on the agenda that I just received yesterday. So
remember, look, I know it's got to be in here. I know it's got to be in here somewhere. I know it's in here. Remember, folks, when he said this: improve communication, improve transparency, improve accountability, slow government down. It's not slowing government down when he keeps saying, I want to, this is not on the agenda, but I just got this yesterday. It just came to my attention yesterday. This just came to my attention. It's not on the agenda, but let's just get it done. No, it's not on the agenda. Let's roll with it until next meeting.
we received a proposal for some townhomes on McKinley. And it's from a local company, Crew Construction. And it just shows, so basically what I've been working with them for some time, the owners of that company. And
wait, what? He just got this yesterday. I've been working with them for some time, but I just got this yesterday. I had no clue this was going to happen. And
townhomes is one of the things that we want in that neighborhood, along with single family home construction as well. And I think it fits well. So I gave them the design standards. They have gone through and put in what they would like to do. We own the lots. I'm not asking you to sell the lots at this time. We have to figure out what this means. They're just saying this is what we would like to build along Walnut Street right across from Muncie Central. These would be home ownership, so they would be for sale. So they're willing to construct and make those available for sale. And that was also very pleasing to me. It would be a couple lots that are owned by DAC, where we purchased the property, that are owned by DAC, and there are a couple lots that are owned by MRC. But essentially it would be, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, exactly what these addresses are, but because of the zoning, they're allowed to do, we'll have to go to planning and get some of those addresses changed, but they would be building 6 townhomes is what their proposal is, with garages in the back, green space behind the houses, some green space in front. I believe, they've designed, they know the standards from our variance board and zoning planning commission. I'm not saying it complies with everything. I don't know. We haven't dug into that far. But I think it's a very legitimate request. And so at the next meeting, we'll probably ask for some type of action. I just wanted you to be aware that we do have an interest from a local builder to build 6 townhomes that would be available for sale. And that, I think, will be helpful for that neighborhood to have some additional home ownership. It does not involve the corner or Columbus Avenue at this particular time. It is lots that are on Walnut. So probably 710, 712, you know, whatever those numbers are, ones that are not on that corner. And so they have a little packet there of some things that they would like to see, but we're just in the beginning phases. So what we need to do now is we need to figure out how it works, what they're going to do, what the timing is. Obviously, we don't want to necessarily provide lots to somebody and then they sit for 3 years and then they sell them. So family homes, more northern in the neighborhood, not so far down by Muncie Central, but more toward Elm and maybe Jefferson.
So there are lots. Are there homes in addition to that?
Say that again.
Did you buy homes?
Not so far down by Muncie Central, but more.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just felt it was a good way to show that they're invested in the
They are.
neighborhood and connected to the project that's going on over there.
So I didn't know this was, I missed this. I didn't know this was sitting up here. I wasn't following along. I thought it was just for information. So,
Well,
so about 2,000 square feet of, is that the footprint or is that the
you
living
want to come up?
space?
There's 2 unit types.
Why don't you come up? I've got one there.
I just kind of read through this. Jonathan Chambliss, Crew Construction, resident here in Muncie. There's 2 unit types essentially, and we're kind of looking at this. If you look at the site plan, our whole goal was to look at this as more of a holistic project. Where we're talking about the corner of Columbus and Walnut, even on down into the Columbus towards the neighborhood and north of Walnut towards the river, and kind of trying to think about this first phase of the townhomes, but also have a generalistic view on what the whole project's going to look like or what the whole project could be, over the next 5 to 10 years.
Nicole?
There's the background and history there. These lots, I believe, is the most northern one is 718, and I think it goes down to 710 for the first, 710 through 718. So it's 6 townhomes on 4 lots. There's 2 unit types, and there's some description in there about those. One's about 2260 and one's 21 and some change square feet. They're both 3-bed, 2-bath, as it shows on the plan. One has 2 living spaces. The other one has a flex space, an office, or maybe a guest bedroom. So there's a lot of opportunity there. They will all have their own individual 2-car garage with alley entrance. Greens on down into the Columbus.
Say that again.
Did you buy?
No, this was, I missed this. I didn't know this was sitting up here. I wasn't following along. I thought it was just for information. So,
Well,
so about 2,000 square feet of, is that the footprint or is that the living
you want to
space?
come up?
There's 2 unit types.
Why don't you come up? I've got one there.
I just kind of read through this. Jonathan Chambliss, Crew Construction, resident here in Muncie. There's 2 units.
Interesting. So right here, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Jonathan Chambliss. I've never heard of this individual before. I hadn't thought that I had heard of him before. Let me get ready to look this up. Jonathan Chambliss. Jonathan Chambliss. Looks like a good enough dude. Project manager at True Buildings. I thought they were saying Crew Buildings, but it's True. Jonathan seems like a good enough dude. No problems here, no issues. He is marketed. He is listed in advertisement for the mayor's golf tournaments for re-election. But Nicole sent me earlier today a message, which she sent me earlier today, this message, and it, like, when I got this message that she sent me, I was like, that's weird. It was weird. What she sent me was weird. But other than it being weird, there was nothing else really with it. It wasn't anything like I could really do anything with. I put it in the file of, oh, keep my eye on this and see what comes out of it. All right, I'm going to show you this. Okay, I know this is kind of hard to see this here, but this says, Muncie area, buy it, trade it, sell it. No advertising. Jonathan Chambliss posted, Workman's Bar Furniture, Hoyt and 8th Street in Muncie. See pictures, tables, chairs, booths, bar stools sold. First come, first serve. If it's still posted, it's available. Cash only. Make reasonable offer, and it's yours. And so it's interesting. I mean, look, this guy is connected in some way to the deal with the Workman's Bar thing, the property at 809 West 8th Street, which is going to be Dan's drug den, Dan's hole in the wall, the glory hole, Dan's glory hole.
Well, that's actually brilliant. You get the drug addicts in there, people that need help, and you put them to work building furniture for 24 hours. That's therapy for them.
Yeah,
and
right.
then you sell it.
Yeah, right. I don't think they're building furniture, but yeah, let's just this is just really strange. So it's strange that Nicole just happened to send this to me today, and that was just a fluke. She saw this on one of those Muncie buy it things. But as Chris Bunner said, it's interesting that Jonathan Chambliss just happened to be sitting in the audience on a day when he just heard about this thing that wasn't going to be on the agenda. It wasn't going to be on the agenda. It's not on the agenda, but yet he had the man come to the meeting. Folks, if you're still voting for this man, you're not listening, you're blind, you don't care, or it's just he's your man and there's no way or else out of it. You're in for a penny, in for a pound. That's it. That's just the only thing that there is there. That's the only thing there is there. I need to hurry up through this because we got a few more things I need to tell you. Let's get to this.
Looking at this, if you look at the site plan, our whole goal was to look at this as more of a holistic project. Where we're talking about the corner of Columbus and Walnut, even on down into the Columbus towards the neighborhood and north of Walnut towards the river, and kind of trying to think about this first phase of the townhomes, but also have a journalistic view on what the whole project's going to look like or what the whole project could be, over the next 5 or 10 years. There's the background and history there. These lots, I believe, is the most northern one is 718, and I think it goes down to 710 for the first, 710 through 718. So it's 6 townhomes on 4 lots. There's 2 unit types, and there's some description in there about those. One's about 2260 and one's 21 and some change square feet. They're both 3-bed, 2-bath, as it shows on the plan. One has 2 living spaces. The other one has a flex space, an office, or maybe a guest bedroom. So there's a lot of opportunity there. They will all have their own individual 2-car garage with alley entrance, green space between the garages and the homes, and then a setback green space from the street to the front porch. They all show a front porch and a back patio. 2-story. Unit type B could actually be a 3-story. There's some options for that for future expansion. But these are really just a preliminary concept, and we would just want to put together some ideas so we can start kind of having a conversation about what it could be. Our next steps with the city, obviously, trying opportunity for more like
downtown where somebody can be an empty nester. They don't have to maintain the yard. And yet they can be part of the downtown environment. They can have a nice new facility. That's kind of what my objective is on that particular block. So I would just open it up for discussion. If you so desired, I would put together an RFP. We'd put it out. We probably wouldn't get responses back till October or maybe even November by the time we got it done. But I just felt like that block, we've pretty much decided that's not going to be phase 2. That would be a phase 3. Well, if somebody wants to buy it and develop it and turn it into something that's beneficial to our city, I'm open to that. It can become phase 2 if that's what they want to do. But we do own the lot.
It's really interesting. It's really interesting.
Sustainable Muncie Board here to.
We were able to 4 years ago get $100,000 in recaptured revenue from the state. And so this past legislative session, we were able to get that increase to $250,000, which is a miracle. Okay. And so I've spent so much time down at the State House and working with legislators, and it's just really a good thing. We're not done yet. The next budget session, we're going to go after 500,000. So, never content, but it's all about progress and growth. And that's why we're doing that. So to kind of give you an idea,
I can't even listen to him talk.
And it goes to the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. That's just the pass-through that they use. And then I can tell you for sure how that works. So anyway.
Business owner, our question would be specifically directed towards TIF districts and money. We, some of our properties that we own are out in the air park. And how many of you know where the air park is?
Ooh, weird.
Generally, people say air park. Where is it? It's a
All right. Well, that's it for that. I would highly recommend people to go, good Lord, timing issues. I would highly recommend people to go back through and listen and watch those that if you're interested in hearing all of that. I will check through the rest of everything that goes there. And if there is anything else that needs to be talked about, we will talk about it. But I just really wanted to spend some time and highlight what is going on with this YMCA deal. The mayor really has us in a really, really, really bad spot. And I just don't understand why these economic development deals always end in complete disaster when Dan is in charge. I messed up and said 8 years, bite my tongue. What I meant was we can't afford him to be mayor for 8 years. We can't afford another 4 years with him. I'm not sure that we can. I don't understand what's going on here. And people that are on Dan's team, they can continue telling him what a great guy he is. But for all this serious stuff, I don't know what they're telling him because it's all a serious disaster. And for this deal with this Chambliss guy, he could be a C he could be the C in the ECIBG. He could very well be a partner in that. Who knows what's going on? We've heard very little, if nothing else, about this drug center. I go by there almost daily and I see nothing happening there. I was there the other day and they were mowing the yard. The gentleman that was mowing the yard was not a city employee, so it looked to be like some kind of contractor that they have paying mowing the yard. It's very interesting what they're doing there. I have no no clue what's going on there. And I don't think Dan does either. It was just something that he wanted to say back when he said it because it sounded good for his election at that time. Now it is just what it is, and it's going to be a disaster one way or another. Dan would make a great former Muncie resident. I love that. You're exactly right. Dan would be a great former Muncie resident. I don't ever want to tell people to move out of Muncie except for Dan. I think you're spot on, Audie. Okay, before we roll out of here, I've got to move on to Madison County just briefly. And when I put together the thumbnail, I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? Am I going to put the thumbnail up of just Dan and then talk about Madison County and not have them anywhere on it? I'm glad that it went this way because the whole show's basically been about Dan. Basically, what I am doing, folks, is I am just going to be teasing you out and giving you some information. Last night, we talked about the horrible situation of the former Madison County Councilor, Steve Sumner, which was a sexual predator, I would call him a violent sexual predator. I consider rape to be violent, whether it's a vicious attack or not. It is a violent action, and it's just sickening. Honestly, it's just, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but he is a bad man. He is currently on the run. And from what I've been piecing together about that throughout the day today, it's going to be really scary to see who currently is helping him and who currently is assisting him on this side of things in the Madison County government. So it's really bad. I am in the process of getting some folks on that are going to be talking to us. I have an appointment to talk with some community activists, community watchdogs from over there that are going to talk to me Saturday. So I'll be talking with them and getting information. Alongside that, though, there's a lot more going on in Madison County than just that. There's stuff going on with the prosecutor. There's stuff going on with Anderson's mayor. There's stuff going on the city council. There's stuff going on with the city or the county council and the county commissioners. Literally, the entire government system needs to be completely replaced and try again. At the heart of all of this is Russ Willis, who is the Republican Party chairman. He's involved with this. The Likens family is involved with all of this. They, of course, have officials in the commissioner's office and the county council. They've got, I believe the mother, the patriarch, is in the commissioner's office, and a daughter-in-law is on the council. They think they've got this sewn up. Essentially, what this is there are a few good people that are on the county council, but they are in the minority, so they are the odd men and women out. Helping him, Castle Lord, by giving him money, by doing some things that probably they shouldn't be doing, and so I'm going to be looking into that. Nicole, shoot me a message. My meeting with the other people is scheduled for at 12:30 that day. So shoot me a message and we can definitely talk about that. We'll see what we can do. But yeah, it's going to be a concern. That in and of itself, those are two different problems I talked about. Then you mix in this coroner problem with what the coroner and the deputy coroner saw. Right now, Madison County has the deputy coroner that's the pit bull fighting for this. She left because she couldn't deal with the abuse of the county council and county commissioners, and she felt that she could fight it more from the outside than she could. Then at the time, the coroner, he actually stepped down, and it has been a big, 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 big black eye. She's now trying to get caucused in to be the elected coroner. She says she has the fight in her to do it, and she's trying to get in. They're trying to keep her out. The caucus for that is Monday. So we're going to have her on the program at 9 p.m. on Saturday. It's going to be a very special show, so make sure to let everybody know Saturday we will have her. That's Catherine Callahan. We're also going to have other people. My investigation into my investigation into Madison County is just starting, and I just have a thread in my hand, and it's going to unravel a whole building that's going to be bigger than that Y building. I guarantee you. It's going to be something that we look at probably over the next year, over the next couple of years. It's going to be a very long, long time. Yeah, as Joey said, that guy getting $5,000. So he's currently in trouble, and he's charged with 15 felonies. He was not initially charged with those 15 felonies. I think he was originally charged with 5 felonies. 5 felonies. So even that being said, 5 felonies should not have been $5,000 bail. That's just completely crazy. So that's a big ass beer cooler. Talking about a beer cooler, that's where they wanted the corner to put dead bodies into a beer cooler. We'll talk about it. It's total nutso. So we will be on a day early. We will be on Saturday, and we will be here Sunday. This will be a really big show that everyone will need to watch, because this kind of corruption is going on everywhere. I talked to her for about an hour on the phone today. She is heated up. She is a pit bull. She is ready to go. But everything she said, I just laughed, because I'm like, dude, this is going on in Henry County. This is going on in Randolph County. This is going on in Marion County. It's going on everywhere, folks. It's going on everywhere. So it doesn't matter if you live in Madison County. It doesn't matter if you live in Anderson. It doesn't matter if you live in Indiana. You need to give this a listen, because it's going on where you are. And you need to listen to how we're dealing with it, what to look for, all of the things. It's all important. And then just before we wrap up, Henry County. I know that we talked about there was a possibility that Civic Duty would be meeting with Sproles. Apparently that meeting has now altered. That meeting is not going to happen. Sproles is doing what Sproles does. He is making wild allegations. And while I'm not going to steal any of Josh's thunder, because it's his right to talk about it, he did post this to social media. So because of that, I am going to read these. It's not like I'm telling you guys any of his work product. He posted this to social media, and because it did involve me, I want to let you guys know this. So Sproles sends him a text message that says, Josh sends Sproles a message that says, "Hey, John, this is Josh. Would you be available Friday at 10 a.m. to noon? If any of those times work, let me know." Sproles says, "I can meet at 10:30 at the sheriff's office." Josh says, "Okay, thank you. Again, I will see you then." Sproles does a thumbs up. Today, at 5:41 p.m., Sproles sends the following message to Josh. "Hey, Josh, I just now reviewed some of your video content on your Civic Duty YouTube channel. It is clear that you are simply promoting hate towards law enforcement officers by engaging in controversial encounters and peddling video clips that are edited to only capture when you have pushed people to their limits by your antagonistic conduct and communication. Furthermore, you are not a citizen of Henry County, and therefore you do not have a vested interest in the well-being of our community. I have also been made aware from the sheriff of your county that you have threatened to use up to deadly force on him and or his deputies if they came on your property. Also, I'm involved in the current investigation of you being involved in possible criminal activity in Henry County. For those reasons, I am going to rescind my offer of meeting with you. I also want to reiterate that you have been officially trespassed from any property owned by me or my family members. I am also requesting that you do not contact me again on this, my personal cell phone number. Well, then Josh says, well, this is very unfortunate to hear, but I guess I respect that. I was trying to give you a chance to speak your side of the story. And FYI, those clips are not edited, and I do not hate law enforcement. And you speak about criminal activity. LOL, I have never broken one law while in Henry County. I am quite versed on the IC codes of Indiana, so there's no need to talk about trespassing. But I will be there to still give you a chance to act right and actually teach your county how to follow the rules and laws properly. And then Sproles did not respond. So I want to mention a couple of these things. Number one, Josh does not hate law enforcement. Okay. I've talked to him multiple times. He's not someone that hates law enforcement. There are some people that do what he does that specifically just say, yep, I hate all cops. I don't trust any cops. All cops are bad. Josh does not hate law enforcement. That's just truly that. He does not hate law enforcement. He and I might not partner, but I'm not going to lie on him. I'm not going to say something about him that's not true. Josh does not hate law enforcement. That's just the actual fact of that. It says you peddle video clips that are edited to only capture when you push people to their limits. Josh has never edited a video to show something that does not exist. Josh and I both will edit audio or video to condense time, but we do not change the underlying meaning. We might take a 2-hour video and edit it down to a 45-minute video, but we are not changing the action and what goes on. If you go through the steps of A, B, C, D, and E in an action with us on film, and there's also colors and shapes and numbers, we might cut the shapes and colors and numbers out, but you're going to get steps A, B, C, and D on camera. Whatever steps go on, whatever happens, we are going to show you the action from point A to point B. Josh has never edited, and now I can't say anything moving forward because I'm not part of his process. I'm just talking about from today back. Josh does not edit his content. I think that Sproles might be talking about the YouTube clips, the shorts. Okay. He might be talking about the shorts, and those are not edited. Those are video that is 60 seconds. So sometimes we make shorts that are made out of an hour-long video, and it's 60 seconds of an hour-long video. It's not edited. It's just a 60-second clip of a longer video. Anytime I edit videos together, or anytime I make like shorts, I always show the longer link below. Josh does the same thing, or at least he has up until the 9th. I don't see that changing. So Sproles is wrong there. Then he says, furthermore, you're not a citizen of Henry County. I'm not a citizen of Henry County, and it doesn't matter. The news stations, when they leave Indianapolis and they drive to Muncie, when they drive up to South Bend, when they drive to Winchester, they don't live in those communities. Tony Katz, Rush Limbaugh didn't live in D.C., but he still talked about what happened in D.C. You don't have to live in a community to ask questions. You don't have to live in a community to need to know what's going on or want to know what's going on. Nothing stops Josh from asking questions and wanting to speak to elected officials. And this is just poor shit show nonsense on Sproul's behalf. This "you don't belong here" stuff is nonsense. And I'm sticking up for this now because I'm sure I'm going to have to stick up for it when I'm going through it. Okay, moving on to that because I want to answer that. He says, I've been made aware from your sheriff of your county that you've threatened to use up to deadly force on him and his deputies if they came on your property. That is not what was said. That is not what was said. What was said, I'm not even going to speak for Josh on that. I don't speak for Josh, but that's not what was said. Sproles is a liar. Now, I don't know what Art told Sproles, but Josh did not say this in these words. He said words similar to that, but there was other context there. So I want to be very clear of that. Then this next thing, he says, also, I'm involved in a current investigation of you being involved in possible criminal activity in Henry County. Josh Kimbrell has been, to my knowledge, in Henry County twice with me and 2 or 3 times without me. I cannot speak for what Josh has done since I've not been with him. But while I was with Josh, Josh did not commit crimes in Henry County. I've never been with Josh while Josh has committed a criminal crime. Josh is not a criminal. Is he a loudmouth? Yeah. Is he an asshole? Sure. Can people think maybe he's a douchebag or this or that? Sure, whatever. You're free to have your thought about him. All right? I counted him as a friend. We had a falling out business-wise. It is what it is. Josh is not a violent person. Josh is not trying to hurt anybody. What Sproles is doing here is bullshit. And I slap back at Sproles on this because I think that he's talking about the Caddis meeting. I was there too. So when I hear this, all I hear is Sproles is calling me a criminal. That's bullshit. I am aware that Sproles told Josh today that he is prosecutor shopping, that his county prosecutor told him, no, not the chief deputy now, the actual elected prosecutor told him, no, I am not filing charges on these individuals. And Sproles is now for some reason, prosecutor shopping. Now, I'm going to have to look into that because I've never heard of such a thing. That does not happen unless a special prosecutor is called. He can't just go around to the 92 counties and say, hey, well, why don't you file this? It has to be filed in Henry County. I'm going to look into the legality of that. I think Sproles is an idiot. Josh also told me that Sproles admitted to him that because he is new to law enforcement, he is still learning. Well, he's in a position that he cannot be learning. We all learn. We never stop learning. But Sproles has such a lack of understanding of what his job is. It's not safe for him to be where he is. That's completely stupid. So I just wanted to say that. Lastly, he says, for those reasons, I'm going to rescind my offer to meet with you. Listen, sometimes how Josh acts causes people to not want to meet with him. That's on Josh. That's on Sproles. I'm sure Sproles, whatever. Sproles can't handle not being in front of a camera. If Josh is there, I'm sure Sproles will give him a performance. Josh knows that the way he goes in comes with consequences. And as my dad used to say, you can do whatever you want in life as long as you're willing to pay the consequences. Josh knows what those are, and it is what it is. So that is where we are, folks. That's where we're going to leave it. Sproles is a complete tool bag, and the FBI, the federal government, is investigating Sproles. Sproles is getting it from all angles. He's getting punched in the face with the Josh shit. I'm going to creep up the backside, and I'm going to investigate all this stuff. I'm going to lay it out. I'm going to have the community aware so they will never want to vote for him again. And the federal government's going to come in and I hope charge him with a crime and beat him so he cannot hold office. That would be the best thing possible. So we'll see what happens. Tonight is Thursday night, which means I will not be here tomorrow. I will not be here tomorrow. That's fantastic. Tomorrow will be a night off. I will be here Saturday at 9 p.m. That's a special night. I generally would be off Saturday, but I will be here Saturday because Catherine will be joining me. And we are going to have some pretty big shows for the next couple of weeks, I would say, dealing with Muncie, dealing with the elections, dealing with Madison County, dealing with Henry County. It's going to be crazy. You guys tune in on Saturday and watch what we've got. Help spread the word. Hit like if you haven't. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the bell. And for the postscript, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say... Yeah. No. Your outro music should be YMCA. I wish I could do it. It would get us. My postscript is the YouTube rules with copyrighted music suck a D. Goodbye.